What is up, Earthnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple new type, and we are back in Universal Century as we cover Mobile Suit Gundam ZZ. One thing that I really haven't made clear is the timeline in all of this. The last 5 episodes of Zeta Gundam and the end of the Grips conflict happened at the beginning of UC-0088. By February of UC-0088, the Titans were all but gone, and Quattro was considered MIA. It wasn't until March 1st, UC-0088, that the Argama docks with Shangri-La. In her last episode, Mashimer fondled his flower and tried to destroy Zeta Gundam in the name of Haman. Our protagonist Judau also got into the Gundam and helped the AU crew. This episode, we will be introduced to a new version of the Gaza as Mashimer continues his hunt for the Argama. We will also be introduced to a new character from Levian Rose piloting a new core fighter. So let's get into this. Mashimer is trying to find a way to once again defeat the Argama without hurting Shangri-La. He looks at his Haman flower and remembers a time when she told him that there are times when you aren't able to handle things in a noble manner. The Argama crew feeds the Junker kids. They refer to the food on board the ship as gourmet. Damn, if these kids think that military-grade food is gourmet, what are the living conditions of Shangri-La? This must be an extremely poor colony. I mean, the Argama and White Base was always stocked with burgers, but they never seemed like good burgers. They always come off seeming like dry gas station burgers. It's no McDaniels, that's for sure. While the kids are eating, Bright asks if they could help out on board the ship while they are docked at the colony. He even offers them a place on board the ship if they want to join. They plan on meeting up with Levian Rose after leaving Shangri-La. Judau doesn't want to, however, and prefers working on the colony. The others seem okay with staying on the ship, and Lena thinks it would be good for him to work on the ship as well. He smacks the food out of her hand. That is when Fa comes in and gives our protag a good old Gundam slap. As he runs out of the Argama, he hears something. He thinks it is close by, but it is actually his new type powers sensing Mashimer from afar. He happens to be launching the Zza. The AMX-102 is an artillery bomber designed to work with the Gallus J. You can't introduce Wu-Tang members this late in the game, man. It can hold up to 44 missiles and is armed with 30mm Vulcans along with a scattering beam gun and beam sabers. Its shoulder shields will go on to evolve and be later used in the Gyaradoga. A booster pod can also be attached to provide additional thrusters. He launches, but not before taking a whiff of his flower. 2 Gaza-Cs will catch up with him once they are ready. Look at this guy. He's got a lot of wine. Why are we spending so much time with this guy with the wine? No, one guy's wine. It's the only character trait this guy's had, and it's all gone. Mashimer causes the entire house to roll off a cliff towards the city. It stops, but much of the town is still in the danger zone of the landslide, including the hospital where Camille currently is. Fa realizes this and gets in the Mythos and goes and saves them. The Junker Beecha asks to borrow a car so he could pick up Judau and bring him back to pilot Zeta. Ashtonage wonders why Bright relies so much on the kids to solve their problems. Bright believes he is a new type, but Ashtonage has had enough and he decides to pilot Zeta himself. He is the mechanic after all. He is going to prove that the kids are nothing special. Judau notices Mythos flying by. At that moment, Mashimer in the Zza makes his move. Mashimer gets all punchy with Fa. Suddenly, Ashtonage in Zeta Gundam comes in and helps Fa. He does fine at first, but then he struggles to control the mobile suit. Ashtonage almost hits a civilian and small trailer. Mashimer thinks that Ashtonage is quite a chivalrous man for not attacking civilians, but Ashtonage just doesn't know what he is doing. Mashimer's an idiot. While distracted, Fa comes in and attacks. The shizz rips off the Mythos' arm. Even though he has the upper hand, Mashimer takes off and meets up with the 2 Gaza-Cs. Within the town, Yazan notices 2 mobile suits fighting. He steals a random person's moped. The man and woman may have lost their wine, but most of their belongings seems to be fine. Never mind. Fa tries to convince Judau to pilot the Gundam and tells him about Camille. Everyone thinks he should pilot the unit. He is mad that everyone is pressuring him, but he pilots the mobile suit anyways. 2 Gaza-Cs come in towards the mobile suit, but it is hiding in the junk. Zeta pops out and destroys one of the Axis mobile suits with its beam saber. The Gaza attacks from above. It is able to dodge the attack and body slam the second unit into the rubble. That is when Mashimir comes in and attacks, but he causes a landslide of junk all around him. He is attacking too hard and causing some damage to the colony. As they are fighting, he notices that his rose snapped. This of course infuriates him, as he has probably slept with it. He puts it in his mouth, of course. The two fight with their beam sabers. Fa comes in with a surprise attack from behind. This causes Mashimir to retreat from now. This whole time, Yazan was following the action. He accidentally crashes. Back at the ship, Lena is willing to give up school if Judau stays on board the Argama to keep out of trouble. I mean, probably not a good idea, but then again, your entire colony is made of trash. What are you going to go to school for? Are you going to learn to pick up trash? Is that too mean for the pores of Colony 1? I probably shouldn't be calling them pores. But then again, they called military-grade food gourmet, so my hands are kinda tied on this one. Bright is informed by Chimater that Levian Rose is one day out from their location. We also learn that this Looney Tunes of a character was Chimater's mean boss, so we don't feel bad for him when he loses his entire life. Mashimir sets up his ship as a blockade within the colony. Essentially, in order for the Argama to leave the colony, they will have to pass by his Indra-class ship. He is blocking the secret hatch out. Pampa wants to go out with his team to take out Zeta Gundam. Mashimir allows them to handle business instead of his plan of just blasting the colony with the Indra class. Mashimir's dumb. Meanwhile, the junk dealer, Gimon Bajek, spots Judau and his junk team. He chases them down. Meanwhile, Pampa's team launches in the Gaza-D. The AMX-6 Gaza-D is an improved version of the Gaza-C that has enhanced speed, maneuverability, and power output. The problem with the Gaza-C was its transformable frame was made from recycled parts on Axis at the time. Because of this, the mobile suit was very temporary and wouldn't last more than a few sorties. Most of the time, a Gaza-C would be in either MS mode or MA mode, and they would never transform for fear of, dying. The Gaza-D fixes this and allows the frame to last through multiple transformations. New weapons included with this mobile suit include missile launchers, missile pods, and a mega particle gun in the leg claw for more firepower. The team performs an airshow stunt before taking off on their mission. Show-offs. Dude literally cried for Mashimir, which is like a boss of a boss of a boss. On the Argama, they have a new shipment of beef. Oh sweet, they even got a shipment of GUNPLA models on board. I wonder what else they got from Bandai. Maybe a few boxes of Space Warp. Dinner tries to run away. The Gaza approaches the Argama. Fa launches in Zeta Gundam while Torres goes out in the Mythos. Judau is still dealing with Gemin. Both Torres and Fa are struggling to fight the new Gazas. Pampa sends a message to the people of the colony. He gaslights the colony into thinking the Argama is responsible for damaging Shangri-La. Bright says he doesn't believe in gaslighting and launches the Argama. He leaves Bicha and the Junkers to man the turret, but he tells them to watch the regulator as they don't want to tear a hole in the colony. The kids have no idea what he is talking about. They then proceed to use the turret and almost end up tearing a hole through the colony. Whoops. Gimon is choking Judau when suddenly someone attacks him from behind. It is a young woman, but Judau and the gang don't have time to talk. They have to get back to the ship. He yells out asking what her name is. She says she is Rue Luca of Levian Rose. She heads back to the Neo Core fighter and takes off. The FXA-07GB Neo Core fighter is Anaheim Electronics' new baby that they developed off of the original principles of the core block system. This core fighter will also act as the cockpit and core block system for the pivotal Double Zeta Gundam that we will see soon. Like the original core fighter, this has limited firepower and is mainly used as a recon vehicle. I guess you could kamikaze someone with it. At least 3 of these have been in production and will serve the Double Zeta in the future. She takes off and finds Zeta fighting the Gazas. It distracts 1 enough for Fa to get free. She's distracting Axis while Zeta and the Methus are able to get their bearings. But the Gazas have their sights on Zeta. That is when Judau and the gang comes in a service vehicle and just bumps the Gazas. That's all it takes for them to fall over in a hilarious manner. Fa uses this opportunity to meet with Judau and let him pilot the Gundam. When he gets in, he contacts Ryu. They communicate with the Argama to plan an attack. The Argama is able to pick off one of the Gazas. Hey, Beecha got one. Don't get cocky, kid. The 3 remaining Gazas do the Gaza Storm formation. They use smoke blinding Judau. Then they begin attacking by bombing the area. Ryu finds a hole in the colony and realizes that the smoke is leaking out. She apologizes to Shangri-La before shooting at the colony, making a bigger hole. The smoke clears and pulls out one of the Gazas. He attacks the 2 final units. Zeta is able to punch both units into space, clearing the colony. Mashimure's men have failed their mission. He fondles his flower in sadness. Ryu and Judau head back to the colony. She informs Bright that the Levian Rose is awaiting their arrival. Judau, Ryu, and the Junkers go to open the secret tunnel so they can make their escape from the colony. Meanwhile, Yazan steals a pig. He's eating bacon tonight. And that will do it for this episode. I honestly don't mind the silliness in the series like most people, but in these first episodes, what I find is a problem is that there is no one else to really care about until we get more attached to Judau. Next time in our adventures through Universal Century, the Argama will meet with Axis as they make their escape from the colony. They also will leave Camille on the trash colony, and we will be introduced to a brand new Gundam. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember, if you live on a junk colony, school will only get you so far. Peace.